The following footage is certified PG. Pretty great.
Welcome, everybody, to Breakfast Takes. My name is Ed, also known as the Dad, and with me, my good friend, the Mayor, Mr. Danny Weiss. How are you today, my friend?
Doing good. Just trying to stay warm in the snow, or what little bit of it we had.
We were just talking about that, right? With the prognosticators, the weather people, it was like, yeah, you're gonna get like 6 to 8 inches of snow. It's gonna be between 0 to 20,000 inches. We didn't get shit, okay?
Nope.
We didn't get shit here in the Raleigh area, man. It was like, oh, what a letdown. Well, everybody else, and listen, I understand. Like maybe this is a good thing that we're not getting that much, and I get it, guys. I'm not saying, but like, if you're gonna tell me it's gonna snow, snow, okay?
Right.
Just don't threaten me with snow, and then all of a sudden not get here. Like, that really pissed me off. I don't know why it did.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotten to the point for us. I mean, our kids are grown, so they're not going to run around and play in it. We're not going out there.
Yeah,
I told Rhonda, I said, "You want to go out there and throw some snowballs?" She's like, "No."
yeah, I'm not
It's
going to
nice to
do that.
see, but yeah, it was pretty to look at out on the deck. Take a few pictures of it out there, but and enjoy the fact that it happened because she loves to see snow. But
Yeah,
then she's like, "Okay, we're done with it." So
yeah, exactly. You're like, all right, I think this is good.
yeah.
We can leave now.
And all the people out on the roads just it's crazy. I mean, there's so many people that don't know how to drive. I mean, you probably saw all the stuff on the news about the Charlotte I-85 up near Kannapolis.
Dude, that was wild.
I mean, you're watching video and people are just like they can't see but so far ahead and they don't even know they're coming up on it until they're on it.
Dude, it's
It's it's
that's
just
the
I see how these big pileups happen because that's what happened there. It's just like you're
well,
driving along and all of a sudden there's nothing you can do.
that's the problem though, right? Because and this is something that my wife and I were just talking about is that we I have experience driving in the north.
Sure.
Obviously, I'm from Ohio, right? And we were just talking about like I'm not gonna get on the road, not because of the weather. We can handle the snow. We can handle all of that. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's the fact that people around here like listen, they're not used to that.
Right.
Right? They get on there and they're going fast, dude. They are going fast. I'm like, "Bro, you guys gotta slow down. You can't be going that fast."
Yeah, they act like they could just drive normal in it, or they're like, "Oh, I'm fine. My car's gonna handle it until it doesn't." And yeah, I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not dealing with the other people that are idiots that don't know how
No,
to do it. Because you'll be
you're
driving along safe and cautiously. I'd be going down the road at 40 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour, depending on it. And all of a sudden you'd have some guy come through there, and boom,
Yep,
he tears your car up, ruins your life
yep.
because he's a dumbass.
And now I'm stuck,
So
in the snow, and something a lot of people don't think about this, but, let me know what you think about this one. Do you have a, like, emergency kit, or, like, clothing or blankets in your car?
We usually keep some stuff in there. The funny thing is it comes and goes because like we'll take stuff out when we go to do something and we're like, okay, we're gonna take all this
Yeah,
stuff out. It's not like something we constantly keep in there. I mean, Rhonda always keeps a blanket in there because she's always cold when we're driving around somewhere. But yeah, day in and day out, we don't have a whole lot of
see, I
stuff.
do.
Yeah,
I keep a jacket in there just in case. I keep a winter hat. I also keep another hat,
yeah,
regular hat, in there, and so I always make sure that we keep extra stuff in there. Hell, we even got toilet paper in the car. You
yeah,
never know.
yeah.
Honestly,
You're
you
right.
never know. And so,
Yeah, we got like one of those little trunk boxes for Rhonda's car that's
yeah,
like got 2 compartments, and we bought it to kinda do what you talked about. It's like have it stocked with things, and then, like I said, we'll be like, "Oh, we're going to someplace and we need the space," or we got people riding with us, and we'll just take it out, set it in the garage, and
yeah,
then we'll forget to put it back in there for a while. So it's
yeah,
probably sitting in the garage right now. But
I'm
yeah, if we were
sure.
gonna go out in conditions that we thought, hey, or when we travel, we're like, okay, we need to put this in here, make sure it's stocked up or something. But just
Sure.
daily driving around, we don't have all that.
Oh, yeah, no, brother,
It's
we
good
yeah.
for you to be prepared.
Yeah, well, it does. So a couple years ago, when we were still living in Cleveland and we're headed down to Charlotte, and this is when my daughter was small, right? Like, I mean, my daughter's like got like motion sick because obviously we're going down 77 through
Mhm.
West Virginia, and she threw up everywhere, bro. And it was
Mm.
just like absolute like show. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
Yep.
so like ever since then, I've been nope. We got to get some stuff in there.
Right.
I can't. You know what I mean? You never know. You honestly, you never know.
Exactly.
So, anyways, guys, thank you for joining us today. This is Breakfast Takes, the sports show every Monday morning, where in which we talk about anything and everything that has to do with Carolinas. All right, this is North and South Carolina. Not a whole lot going on in the world of sports when it comes to Carolina right now. Baseball, we're just around the corner. The Caribbean Series, obviously, you already know. I am a massive fan of the Caribbean Series. Obviously, me being from Puerto Rico, I follow that. I watched my first game yesterday, by the way.
Okay.
Puerto Rico came back against Mexico. That was a good one. Thank you, thank you.
Thank
So
you.
we are staying warm here in the Carolinas. Same to you, wherever you're at. It was cold. It was cold.
Yeah.
It got in the 20s.
It's in the teens last night, I think, down
Yeah.
here.
Let me see what
Mm.
time. Yeah, it is currently 17 degrees right now
Right.
here in the Raleigh area. So that's cold, brother.
It's 20 here, so
And so yeah, man, it was we watched the Caribbean series. It was fun. Have you been able to watch any of it?
I haven't. Like I told you, we hunkered in and started binge watching some
Yes, right.
shows that we hadn't got caught up on. So no, I should have. I thought about it yesterday. I ended up watching, like I said, the Checkers hockey game. Uh, oh, where'd my camera go?
Where'd you go, man? Where'd you go, bro?
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Yep, there he goes. And he just left, guys. He left me just by myself because his camera died, as always. Actually, no, not as always. Usually that's the one that happens to me, not him. So he'll be right back. His camera is going through some I don't know, technical difficulties. But anyways, I watched the Caribbean series yesterday. It automatically started. And for those of you that don't know what the Caribbean series is, it is the series in which every champion from every winter league in the Caribbean goes and play, right? So Puerto Rico, my home country, was there. You got Mexico, you got the Dominican Republic. Panama is invited this year, and I believe there's another team that is going to be there. Hey, welcome back, buddy.
I don't know why. It's just camera just went out.
Yes, well,
Anyway,
how
go
dare
ahead,
you?
finish. Sorry.
But anyway, but yeah, so it is, the Winter League's champions, they get together and then they say, all right, these are the champion now. This is the champion now of all of the Winter Leagues, which is a pretty cool event that happens every year. And to me, Donnie, this is the official start of the baseball season for me. This is
Absolutely.
this
Yeah.
is when baseball starts for me, and I get it. Listen, we have a good friend who says like baseball is year round, and I understand that. But officially, to me, like mentally, that's when I say baseball is back. Right, the Caribbean baseball series, and it's a lot of fun. Puerto Rico was down. They was down 4-0 in the first two innings, and I'm like, man, this is gonna be a long game.
Wow.
And so I kept watching, but like, halfway through, my daughter wanted to go sledding. So I was like, all right, so let's go sledding. And then I came back and I caught the last three innings of the game afterwards. And then they made a comeback and they won in the bottom of the ninth on a walk-off double to score 2 runs. That was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a walk-off. It was cool. It was a lot of fun. It was in Mexico this year. Remember we were talking about like that may not
That's right.
happen because
Yeah.
it was going to take place in Venezuela,
Right.
and so they moved it to. And kudos to Mexico for taking advantage and to be like, hey, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do it, man, bro. This is a legit AAA minor league baseball team league stadium. If
Right.
you got to take a look at it. It is legit, dude. It is absolutely beautiful.
That's nice. That's
So,
awesome. I definitely want to catch some games. I need to look at the schedule and see what the rest of the schedule is
I could tell
this
you
week.
one. There's
Uh,
one at 2:50 to
okay.
3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time because actually they're on a different zone than us.
Okay.
But yeah, there's one at 3 o'clock today.
And ESPN's carrying those games, aren't they?
ESPN is
Yeah.
carrying all of them. Correct.
I can watch those on my phone, or I can throw those up on the TV if we're at the office over there working.
This is when I'm happy to know that I am going to be home today.
Right.
My daughter's school was canceled as well, so there's that. 3 p.m. today. It is It's Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, son.
Oh, that's going to be a good one right there. I
3
definitely
p.m.
need to tune in and watch that game this afternoon.
Then the 8 p.m. is Mexico and Panama. So there's that one, right? So it's gonna be whoo,
All
baby.
right. Well, good. We'll have that game on tonight while we're watching or doing the break even sports show where we're talking about soccer and all the other stuff. We can watch some baseball and get in the mood here.
And there's a lot of soccer stuff that we got to talk
Oh,
about.
there's a lot of soccer
Holy
stuff.
Jesus.
Yep. So tune in tonight at 8:30 Eastern time for that.
Correct.
For all you guys out there listening right now.
Because
Yeah.
man, oh man.
So what I was trying to say when my camera went out, we were supposed to go to the Checkers hockey game yesterday. It was one of the games that we had rescheduled from December because of another commitment.
Again,
And
to
of
be
course,
rescheduled.
and that's got to be rescheduled again because when we saw the weather, I reached out Saturday and I told the girl that I get tickets through up there, we're going to try to go depending on the roads, but if it looks bad, I'll email you and let you know we're not going to come.
Right.
Well, they decided nobody's going to come. they posted
none of you get to enjoy
yesterday
the game.
morning. Yeah, they posted yesterday morning. Game is not going to be open to the public. And they did that because all the people that run the concession stands and all the other stuff that all the people that have to come in there to support the fans, they didn't want them on the road. And so it was just basically the team and team personnel only. So we watched the game on Flow Sports yesterday afternoon. And it was funny as Rhonda said, are they just running stuff? Because they're doing like the fan of the game. And I was like, I guess they're just running pre-recorded stuff over the intercom.
Yeah,
Like fans are there. But what was funny is when they did the fan of the game, they picked a seat and they scanned down there and they actually had a mannequin wearing Checkers gear sitting in the seat. So they were having fun with it for the broadcast because they knew they were broadcasting. Chubby was still out there running around. I mean, they had the mascot there. It was like a game that just
that name.
no fans. I know. Chubby the bear. So
that name. That's that's a name. That's a name. That's a name. Anyways, that's good though. At least you get to be able to watch it, right? And because you're obviously you wanted to be there. You're not. So there's that.
Absolutely.
Good for you though. You know,
I mean, they lost 3-0, but we still got to watch the hockey game. So it's like
you and me talked about this last week about Flow Sports, and I still got to figure that out because there's a lot of collegiate woodbet teams now that are going to be behind a paywall in Flow Sports.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out what the cost is going to be for baseball, right? Because also there's some baseball that I like to watch that are on behind the paywall, which is kind of disappointing, right?
Yeah, I see that Clemson baseball is on there. I think I have access to that. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure what I actually paid for. I think I paid for a year subscription.
Yeah.
But I don't know what all that gives me access to. I need to probably check into that. I got it for the hockey because we wanted to be able to watch Checkers games and some other hockey games.
Yeah.
All the ECHL stuff, things like that too. So
well, we'll take a look at that because I mean, there's some racing, there's hockey, there's cheering, varsity TV, flow wrestling, college, track. I mean, there's like a bunch of stuff like that they can. All the sports like they got cycling. I love me some cycling. I do. I every year I watch a couple of the Spain, La Vuelta, which is the Spanish racing. You got the Tour de France, which I always watch. So there's a couple of races. Oh, the Tour and the Tour Down Under, which is down in Australia. So I watch a lot of those racing every year, and it's a lot of fun. I wish people got into that here, but they don't for some reason.
It looks like I've got pretty good access because it shows today's schedule. There's 3 college baseball games on this afternoon I could watch.
So listen to this. I'm looking at the baseball stuff, right? They got a lot of teams here. They got the Coastal Plains League. They got the Frontier League, the Pioneer League, the Western Canadian Baseball League there. the Atlantic League of Professional Baseball. Okay.
Yeah.
The FCSL, that I don't know. The Florida Coast?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, it has to be because it has Winter Garden, DeLand, Leesburg, it has Orlando Snappers. So yeah. So they got a lot of
Oh, is that Florida soccer? Is that a soccer league? Maybe
no, that's
SL.
baseball.
It is baseball. Okay, all right.
Yeah, the DeLand Suns. You got the Seminole City Loggerheads. This is a league that I've never heard about.
Huh.
See, now we're getting here we go, Donnie.
I know we'll go down this rabbit hole of stuff here. So,
Florida Collegiate Summer League.
Florida Collegiate Summer League. Okay.
There it is. Now we know there's a summer collegiate, summer.
It's a whole nother, another summer baseball league.
Great, another one for us to watch and follow. That's just great.
Exactly.
So, anyways, so speaking of, like you just mentioned, speaking of Clemson, I want to get into it with you a little bit on this discussion that your head coach of your alma mater, Mr. Dabo Sweeney, had some comments to say on Instagram that I guess this was during a press conference, and I want to get your take on it. I want to because obviously I want to give you the platform to say it because this is your head coach, this is your school. What are your thoughts on what he said, and what did he say?
Well, I mean, he said what a lot of us have been thinking. It's a mess in college sports right now, and he's gone into the new way of things, kicking and screaming a little bit. He's caught a lot of flack over the last few years about being, behind the times. Well, maybe the times aren't better. Maybe he's one of the few that saw, it's not always better just to have all this stuff. So yeah, with the whole thing in the last few weeks with the player that came in, transferred to Clemson, he finally gets into the portal business, so to speak, brings in a top profile transfer in the portal from Cal. And the kid's there a week. He's in school, and then there's tampering from Ole Miss, and Dabo just decides, you know what? I've had enough of this mess. I'm gonna blow it up. I'm gonna call them out. I'm gonna name names, and all the people are like, "Oh, well, he's breaking some kind of code." Give me a break.
I don't.
There's no code.
There's no code. And listen, I get it. It's college football, but he needs to be careful though. At the same time, he without
I don't know.
Cast the first stone. Okay,
true, but I think, and this is the thing, he's gotten so much flack about not doing things in the portal, and he's always done quote unquote, the right way, so to speak. He's been very. I don't know. The best quote I heard is he's got his backyard cleaned up, is what somebody said as a comment, and I thought
that we know of.
Well, I just don't think he's the kind of guy. Now, I'm not going to say he hasn't had coaches that maybe skirted the line, because I think they all do to some extent.
Right.
I don't think he has had any of his coaches doing the things that some of these SEC coaches have done. I can't
say that we had that. No, they haven't done anything wrong.
I don't even know that and this again. I don't. This is not me getting on my bandwagon or my soapbox about SEC.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I don't hear about these kind of stories from many of the ACC schools in general. I don't hear about them from the Big Ten too much, but there are a couple. It's just an SEC thing, and I don't know why. It's just, I guess it means more to them. But
he did have a proposal, right? He had a proposal in which he said, if you transferred, you have to stay there a whole year, right? You can't transfer out. You get one transfer.
This is what we've been saying as fans. You and I, all of us have been saying.
Yeah.
There's got to be some limitations. So yeah, he's like, yeah, if you transfer, you got to sit out a year. And that's my thing is, if I was the NCAA and had any backbone, I would tell Ole Miss, especially under the circumstances of tampering, okay, well, the kid can come to Ole Miss, but he's going to sit out next season.
Yep. Well,
and it should be a standard thing if you transfer after once. I think it was he said you get one free transfer.
Yep, one free transfer.
If you transfer again, you have to sit a year.
Out a year, correct.
And you don't get some of the money until you graduate.
And the other thing
or
is,
eligibility.
right, but he also said that if you graduate, you can transfer. If your head coach gets fired, leaves, or anything like that, you can transfer. Which that one I'm okay with. I'm okay
Yeah.
with a lot of these. I'm totally okay with them. Here's my problem, and here's my pushback. He's talking about it from the student point of view. What about the coach's point of view? Because a lot of these coaches, they just they leave. They leave. Look at Brian Kelly, prime
Mhm.
example, right? He just left for more money. The, the students are doing the same thing.
Right.
Okay. So, like, you're supposed to be there, you got to honor your contract. If you sign a contract as a head coach, you have to honor your contract. Same with us. Like, in regular employment, if I decided that I'm going to, accept this position, I got to be there. Right. You know what I
Right.
mean? Whether I like all of a sudden I no longer like the person or anything like that, I got to honor what I signed up for. It's the same with the head coaches. Just because you have more money somewhere else doesn't mean that you get to leave. You got to stay there until you honor your contract, and that's
Yeah.
what bothers me. Is if there's this hypocrisy from coaches that are like, "Oh, the students are ruining this and this and that," and they're like, "Bro, you guys are doing the exact same thing."
Yeah. And I get it. I think the players, they deserve to get paid some. I just think they never put any guidelines in place, and that's what I have the problem with is nobody stepped up and said, "Okay, this is what we're going to do," because they
Mm,
tried for a little while to say, "Okay, well, we're going to have to do some stuff," and then all of a sudden it's like people burst through the door and just started running, and the authorities couldn't do anything to stop it. Is basically what happened, and it's just a free for all right now, and I don't know how you rein it back in at this point. I
yeah.
mean, they've tried to with the thing is they tried to with saying, okay, each team, all right, fine, okay, everybody gets money, each team gets a budget, and these teams don't care about the budget now. It's like, okay, fine, give us a budget, we don't care. I've got a rich donor that'll give me an extra 20 million to spend outside of the stuff that you're saying. Um,
Patrick is he's
he just wants to mess with me. He wants to get under my skin. I get it.
He does. He does. But again, we're not. Listen, I'm not disagreeing with his idea. I think it should be some tweaks in here and there. I think there needs to. If you're gonna speak that this strongly about the students, you need to speak strongly about coaches because coaches have been getting away with it for years.
Sure.
The
And
colleges have been getting away from with it from years because you're profiting from the name, image, and likeness from your student for
yeah.
so many years, and all of a sudden they're taking advantage of it. They're like, no, this is my name, image, and likeness. I'm gonna take care of that. That's my thing.
Yeah, but they also need to look at, does a guy really need to be in college 7, 8 years? I mean, that's a little extreme too. Some of these guys trying to, they're fighting for their
Yeah.
7th season or 8th season or whatever, and they're on their 6th team that they've gone to, and it's like, there's got to be. I mean, I think there's going to be some end in sight to that because a lot of that is because of the whole COVID situation, the COVID year, the
Mhm.
the the red shirting and all this kind of stuff kind of got out of whack a couple years ago, and a lot of that's going to be weeded out soon because you won't have any of those kids left at this
Right.
point. But we hadn't had a chance to talk about it. Did you guys see the kid from Oklahoma that was denied another year of a 4th year of eligibility,
A fourth year?
a 4th year?
His normal 4
His
years.
normal 4th year of eligibility was denied by the NCAA
Why?
because he had transferred from Ohio State. He was a walk-on at Oklahoma, and he had started his college career as a walk-on at Ohio State, and he had also played lacrosse. He played 3 games of lacrosse at Ohio State. They counted that as a year
Are you kidding
of
me?
eligibility. No, I'm not. They're denying him a 4th year of football eligibility because they say he burned one of his years of eligibility as a student athlete playing 3 games of lacrosse at Ohio State before he transferred to Oklahoma to play football. And they're sitting here giving other guys 7 and 8 years. Like, what are you
There's
doing?
no this is the problem.
This
If
is the
you wanna
problem right here. That is
if you wanna
exactly the
fix
problem. There's
if you wanna
no
fix the
standard.
transfer, fix yourself first. This is the
Exactly.
problem. fix your guidelines because obviously you're all over the place on like who gets to have the eligibility and who doesn't. This is what really pisses me off about
Exactly.
NCAA because they have no regular guys. Like they get just nilly willy decides like, you know what, you 8 years, you nope 3 years only. This is what pisses me off about this.
Exactly. I saw that and I was just like, and then when Dabo came out with this whole thing of, you got to sit a year and all that, and if you can only transfer once free, it's like it makes sense to put some kind of guidelines in place because they don't know what they're doing. They don't have any guidelines, and
I don't
it's just
disagree
stupid
with
to do stuff like that.
I don't disagree with him. I do not at
Yeah.
all. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I disagree with him because obviously we've had this conversation. I like to talk shit about Dabo, just really, get under your skin. But like, he's not wrong here. He really isn't. Like, and you know me, I'm not a Dabo fan. I'm not.
I know.
I'm not. He's not. I don't like him as a coach. However, when he's right, he's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're right, you're right. You got to give him the man his due on that one. He was right, completely, absolutely right. I would, like I said, I would tweak some things on it because there's some things I'm like you graduated, bro. I think it's time for you to go ahead and move on to other things. You know what I mean?
Well, and he personally puts a premium on graduation, and I mean, it's funny because everybody gives him so much flack about it, how he handles things, but he tries to do it the right way for whatever
Yeah.
that's worth anymore. Clemson has the highest or one of the top 2 or 3 highest graduation rates in college anywhere for
Yeah.
sports, for football. And that's what he puts a premium on is get your education, get your degree. I mean, a lot of Clemson players, people don't realize this when they're watching because all you see is the eligibility. They're a junior, they're a senior.
Right.
There's juniors and seniors that Clemson have had that graduate in 3 years that have graduate degrees already by the time they're playing as a senior. I mean, these kids are, getting out of school and they already have a master's degree. And you don't see that much at all in football. You get most of the time you see guys that don't even finish school and then they say, "Oh, I'm
Um,
going to come back once I got paid," and they
yeah.
don't.
I'm happy with it. Hey, listen, that's good. Graduate. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And so again, I will stick to this. There's two things that I need to see happen before we even decide that we're going to start talking about the transfer portal and all that. Fix your guidelines because the NCAA is an absolute hot fucking mess
yeah,
right now, when they're all over the place on who gets granted, who doesn't get granted. They don't know what they're talking about. That's first and foremost.
yeah.
Second of all, if we're going to talk about the students transferring here and there, we got to talk about the coaches getting money to go somewhere else. Okay, and there should be a penalty if you leave. You forfeit that contract that at your current school.
Right.
The whole thing.
Yep.
You don't get paid out the incentives. I'm looking at you, LSU. Uh,
Right.
okay, you don't get paid out your incentive. You don't get do any of that. All of that money gone.
Yeah, and I don't know how these contracts are written, but they should be written that you don't get any of that money or very little of that money up
As a
front.
matter of fact, they should recoup some money if you're
Exactly.
going to go ahead and leave.
Well, and you have a couple of schools that have chosen to sue some of these players that have decided to transfer out for the money that they gave them as well. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I'm not trying to say it's only an SEC thing, Patrick. I didn't mean it that way. I just the schools so far that have come up that are um, supposedly doing this are SEC schools. I'm not saying there aren't other schools. It's just you don't hear a lot about other schools tampering, or really just doing some of the shadiest things in this whole world we're in now with NIL
Correct.
money. But by far, it's not just an SEC thing. I think it's more prevalent there, but that's just the nature of some of the fan bases and
Correct.
the supporter bases of the SEC schools.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's ACC schools that are doing it. I'm sure there's Big 10, Big 12. There's ones that are doing it.
Yeah.
Um, but it's just the spotlight's gonna. I mean, obviously we're in the Southeast, so the spotlight shines down here. I mean, if there's somebody doing it at you know wherever outside of the Southeast, it may not hit national news. I don't know, but I haven't really heard of issues like we're seeing with LSU, with Ole Miss, sometimes even with Georgia. You don't hear a lot of those about
Correct.
ACC schools in general,
No, I
or really
you're
Big
right.
Ten. I mean, the Big Ten stuff. I mean, you hear about recruiting
Overpaying.
violations. Notre Dame, or you do hear about Notre Dame, or you don't hear much about Notre Dame, I guess, really.
Yeah,
But you hear about Michigan, Ohio State, just because they're the big names.
I agree.
So we'll have to
Eh,
see.
with Ohio State, and I'll say like I root for Ohio State. Okay, even though I didn't go to Ohio State, I went to Kent, but they pay that money. Okay, they pay that money, and so that's that they do that, right? Like
Right.
I mean, they're giving a lot of money, right? It was overpaid, and they didn't win a championship. Indiana did, and all that, blah 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 blah. But like whatever, I get that. Because you got to compete at this point, right? That's not really tampering. That's just like, hey, we're just going to give you the money. Here's what we got.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Tampering, I understand, and I think also there needs to be some guidelines set with these agents, because right now it is a free for all for these agents, and they can do whatever they want, and no repercussions whatsoever. That's my
Exactly.
problem. That's the
Yeah.
problem right there that I'm having.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a commenter here that says something about University of Washington quarterback that withdrew transfer attempt. Well, he withdrew that transfer attempt because they kind of had him dead to rights. They had already paid him his
Hmm.
money, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm going to transfer somewhere else." And they're like, "No, you just signed a $4 million contract. You're
You
not
going
going to go
nowhere,
in.
bro?
You're not going anywhere. You signed the contract to stay here." So he kind of had to, or he was going to have to give Washington some money, and yeah, that's
How
that.
how embarrassing is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna transfer out now, like you don't say you don't want to be there, but I'm just here to take the money, and then now you got to come back and now you got to play there with these players. Or like a lot of them are not getting paid.
Well, and that's the thing. Clemson could have done the same, I guess, put the foot down the same with this kid and be like, no, you signed a contract last week. The problem is, I don't think he had actually signed the contract yet. I think he enrolled in school and they had not gotten around to putting ink to paper.
Mm,
Um, but that's the thing. I mean, you sign the paper before you enroll in school. That way,
yep,
once you sign that contract, you're locked in. So maybe that's on Clemson for um, taking a leap
that's
of
on
faith with
Clemson.
him. Yeah. I
That's
mean,
on
and that
Clemson.
and if they did, if that's what happened, then that's on them completely for not doing that, because I wouldn't let the kid participate in
And
any
anything.
activities, school, anything. If you're transferring here, when you get to campus, you sign this contract and here's your schedule and off you go. But he spent a week doing team workouts in the facility, in class, and yeah, if he had not put ink on paper, then that's on the school.
And Patrick, I'm not really blaming LSU, although they
No,
have a hot mess with head coaches. So that's and the governing body and the state. So that's a whole different set of just hot mess thing that's going on. I'm talking about your current head coach, who was at Ole Miss. You know what I mean? He's still getting his incentives when he was, this team was playing in the playoffs. He shouldn't be getting any of that money at all. Uh,
yeah, they
so
he set the standard at Ole Miss, left Ole Miss, and they continued with the standard. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean that the spotlight's on them because they put the spotlight on themselves.
And that's the
But
problem. Like, I get it that like if you're the school, you want to attract a big name, head coach, and then you're willing to do anything and everything you can to like attract that, and then that's why you put these incentives and there. But like there should be a clause in there. It's like, listen, if you leave voluntarily before your contract ends, you forfeit X amount or whatever. You know what I mean? You have to. You got to protect yourself. Come on, guys. I mean, this is basic college, business stuff right here.
yeah, and again, I don't know what the payouts are for these kids, but I wouldn't be paying all that money up front either. I'd be like, okay, when you sign, you get this amount of money, and then
Do it like they
per
do it in the
per
NFL.
game, like you get like a game check. You have to, you get paid based on how many games you play and play and stay,
Yeah.
and that's when you get paid. You don't just give them a bag of money and say, here's your millions of dollars in your bank account, and then live it up for a year. No, yeah, we'll give you 10% up front, and you'll get the rest on the back end.
Correct.
Because the whole thing started with, I don't have enough money to go get my girlfriend, take her out for a movie and a pizza. Well, you don't need $4 million to take a girlfriend.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. And you're right. A lot of these players, like at the same time, we're talking about that. Remember that one kid in that Division III? He was a runner.
Yeah, the track guy.
Right, the track guy. He is barely able to afford anything at this point. And what does he do? He gets suspended because the community decided that they wanted to help him out.
Mm-hmm.
But the NCAA came down. It's like, no, you can't do that. That's not allowed.
You can't do a GoFundMe for a student. Like, really? But it's okay for, Mr. Billionaire over here to give his school money so he can give a quarterback $5 million. Like, come on.
Exactly. So let me take a look here. There's a couple of comments here. And Patrick, again, I won't defend LSU. If you broke the rules, you deserve to get punished. But if you can't, just pick on them. LSU is just a popular target to go after. Our popular target is Clemson, but there it is. Snowflake wants to know, Maryland head coach, 1989 to 2011. I asked because Mark Few at Gonzaga and Randy Bennett at St. Mary's in men's basketball set a new record for the number of head-to-head matchups, at least with two teams ranked in the AP. Before it was Gary Williams, now Coach K. Coach K was getting paid for a video game before I knew there were college video games.
Yeah.
Yep.
So a lot of good college basketball stuff there.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
Speaking of Coach K and Duke, did you see all the Duke students that are camped out at Tent City there, whatever whatever
right outside
that. Yeah, the Coach K Village or whatever, where they have to camp out for tickets. They're camped out for the UNC at Duke basketball game that I don't think happens until later in February or early March. And you have to have one person in your tent at all times, 24/7. So
stupid. So stupid.
So this weekend there was at least a student in every one of those tents riding out this storm. Which again, you didn't get a whole lot up there. So maybe there was some divine intervention for Duke. Maybe that's why. You know what? You should blame it on Duke. I blame it on Duke both. Is the reason that.
I blame it on UNC and Duke, okay?
There must be some voodoo magic going on with those students out there in those tents to kind of hold off the snow on them. But
how is it that you got two storms colliding with each other and they don't collide? They just create a corridor of nothingness.
A cushion of air bouncing them apart.
There was nothing there, and we got everybody. And listen, again, I'm not complaining at the same time. Like, we didn't get a lot of snow, but at the same time, we're like, and I said it to my wife. I was like, listen, if it's going to snow, if you tell me it's going to snow, it better snow.
That's right. I mean, I can see camping out for tickets for a day or two. I can't see camping out for months and be like, all right, this is our team. Somebody better always be in this tent. Like
that's stupid.
That is insane.
And if you're the school and you see that, like, you're purposely having those, like aren't you responsible for those students?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they have to
put them inside.
Like, yeah, I don't know what the school has to do from that standpoint as far as safety and making sure that they aren't out there in 14 degrees overnight freezing and you find somebody frozen to death in a damn sleeping bag or something. I mean, come on. I don't know what the liability is for that. So hopefully there's things in place and hopefully there's rules about, okay, it's suspended for this amount of time, get to your dorm rooms and stay where it's warm and then come back. I don't know what the rules are there, but I found that funny last week when I knew they did it. I just didn't think about it until I saw they were camping out till March for the UNC game.
And you're like, really, guys? Like, are we really doing this?
Exactly.
Carolina tribe. Listen, Snow. I don't know. This is something that I never thought I would see when I moved down here. It's like the level of fandomness that comes from college sports here. It is wild here in the Carolinas, man.
Absolutely. I mean, it really is. It's, you grow up and you pick a side. And you have a lot of, split households and stuff.
It's insanity, dude.
We've got some friends that the husband graduated South Carolina, the wife graduated Clemson. They both have season tickets for South Carolina and Clemson football, and he never goes to a Clemson game with her. She goes to one South Carolina game a year with him, and neither of them ever go to the South Carolina Clemson game together. So it's like yeah, they don't have any kids. She has her group of Clemson people she goes up tailgates for the Clemson game with. He never goes up to Clemson. She just goes to all the Clemson games by herself, including South Carolina Clemson. And so when it comes to the South Carolina Clemson game, they have a cabin up in the mountains near Asheville or Lake Lure area. And whoever's team is is not at home, that person will go hang out in the cabin for the weekend. And when the game's over on that Sunday, the other one comes up to the cabin and they hang out together on Sunday. But it's like that rivalry is that deep in that family.
Jesus. Listen, I'm a Browns fan and my wife is a Steelers fan, and I don't give two shits.
I know. Could you imagine, like, if you lived somewhere where your wife, like, well, when you lived in Cleveland, like, if you had season tickets for the Browns and you went to all the Browns games, and then she drove to Pittsburgh for all the Steelers games, but you didn't go with her, and then when they played each other, like, one of you went to the game and the other just hung out somewhere different with their fan, like that. But that's how deep it goes here. Is you've got stuff like that going on.
That's the dumbest thing.
It's intense.
I'm sorry, but that is the absolute dumbest thing there is.
And I'm sure that it's even worse in some other places. I really don't know, but it's funny. It's funny too. So this is another thing that you'll find funny, because territorial is another thing with people. So last year or a year or so ago, we were with our friends down at the lake in southern Alabama near Auburn, and it was a college football weekend when we were down there.
Sure.
And we went to a restaurant on the lake with our friends, and I had a Clemson shirt on. It didn't say Clemson. It was like one of those short sleeve button down Columbia shirts that had a tiger paw on the chest, and that's all it had was a tiger paw. And it was kind of orange with like a flowery Hawaiian type pattern to it.
Okay.
So we're up there, and this woman looks at my shirt and she's like, War Eagle, where'd you get that shirt at? She automatically assumed it's an Auburn Tiger shirt. Like, she had no preconceived idea that this was Clemson or anybody other than Auburn, because it was orange and had a tiger paw on it. And she's like, I've never seen that shirt anywhere. I said, well, it's actually a shirt for the real Tigers, Clemson, not Auburn. And the look she gave me could have cut me in half like laser beams. She was like, oh, like, I offended her by saying that. And it was just like so funny. Like, she like I just like squashed her argument right away, because she thought I was a fellow Auburn fan. And my point was, you don't even know what your mascot is. You say War Eagle for a Tiger mascot. You have an eagle. You have, like, what are you? Like, get your shit straight at your own house before you start claiming that, that I'm an Auburn fan or something. It was just funny. And I think I've told you about the people in Georgia that when we moved to Georgia back in the early or mid 2000s, our next door neighbors, they brought over this nice porcelain hand painted Georgia Bulldog platter as a housewarming gift. They just assumed we were Georgia people. Like, I don't want this. I'm a Clemson guy. I didn't want it. Like, I could have been the ass and just like broke it on the front porch and said, I don't need this shit. But we take it and move on. And
yeah,
I think I gave it away I gave it away at the company Christmas party as a door prize, because there are a lot of Georgia people that worked for me. But I'm like, the fact that people assume is how deep things go with sports around here.
Everybody's like, when I first moved down here, the thing that I was told, and no joke, as soon as I moved down here, it's like, you got to pick a school, right? I'm like, I didn't go to any of these schools. I don't give a shit.
I don't have to pick anything.
I don't have to pick shit. Okay. I will, I'm in North Carolina, so, like, if there's, like, some big important, like, playoffs or, like, game, I'll root for the Carolina team, but I don't give 2 shits.
Right.
Like, during the college football playoffs and the bowl season, yeah, I rooted for the Carolina team.
Right.
That's it. You know what I mean? I root more for East Carolina because my niece goes there,
Yeah.
but that's because I have family that goes there.
Absolutely.
Other
Yeah.
than that, I don't give a shit. My
Right.
school is up in Kent, Ohio, Kent State University.
Right.
That's the school I root for.
Yeah.
I like this, like tribalism
Yeah. That's basically what it is. Absolutely.
from, like, people, like, and listen, I know I'm probably gonna get killed for that one. I don't give a shit. But it's,
Well,
like, wild to me.
yeah. I mean, and rivalries are so deep and get nasty. They don't care if you're family or not. I mean, I know Rhonda's has a lot of family that are Gamecock fans, and when it comes to the rivalry between South Carolina and Clemson, it can get nasty at times. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff you see posted on Facebook and stuff, and you're just like, oh my God, like I don't know if I can deal with this family member anymore.
Yeah.
And you end up just like, you don't necessarily want to block them, but you just kind of like
Ignore them.
you hide them, you ignore them. You're like, oh,
I
I
don't know
can't.
you.
Yeah. And she's had to defend me at times too, like when Clemson did win national championship, and I'm celebrating my fandom, and she's got family and friends that are Gamecock people that are just like crapping on my happiness, and it's like you want to just like choke them, like, come on, like,
100%.
you don't have to like it, but you don't have to bash it.
No, you don't. You really don't. Like, dude, what and like when Michigan won, I'm like, I don't like Michigan. I never have, but that's because there's like other people that like root for Michigan that really ruin it for me.
Right.
Dave Portnoy, for example. I cannot stand that dude.
Yeah.
Can't stand him. Okay. And he talks so much about Michigan this, Michigan that. And it's just like it gets to the point where you're like, I kind of am trying to root against Michigan just so I can see him in misery. Other than that, I don't care.
Well, that's like me. I think Patrick even said you're a sensible fan at times, or you've said it too.
Yeah.
Um, I root against South Carolina when they play against Clemson. I don't necessarily pull for them in anything, but I
Nor
don't root
should you.
against. Right, but I don't bash them. I like to say in football, I hope they go undefeated until they play us, because I'd like to beat them and be the team that knocks them off.
Correct.
I don't want to play a 3-win or 4-win South Carolina team. That does nothing for us.
It does nothing because there's like,
Yeah, get your stuff together and be successful. I mean, I want them to be successful because it's I don't want to play a doormat. Might as well not even play anymore if you're not going to be good.
I get it. Snow's like, Snow has a comment here. Hey, I went to my 8th choice out of 8 because I got a free ride to Arizona State. Hey, man, take it where you go. Sun Devils, right? Was there at the same time as Brock Osweiler and James Harden.
Oh man, Patrick's gonna like you then, because he loves Brock Osweiler. Or at least he likes saying Brock Osweiler.
Right, exactly, he does. And then listen, exactly, right, true. Good for you, man. Like, but at the same, Arizona State. I liked Arizona State. I like their logo. I like, and you and me, we go into like our the logos and we look at uniforms and all that. So that's something that we always gravitate towards. And so, listen, Arizona State's a great school.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a cool logo, cool colors. My high school colors are very similar to Arizona State, so partial sometimes to the kind of burgundy and yellowish color
I'm
schemes.
Brock Osweiler committed freshman year of high school to Gonzaga for basketball. Hot dog.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Didn't know that.
No, didn't know that either. So learn something new all the time.
In high school, if you're a freshman, why are you committing so early to a school?
Right.
Why? You're going to change your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Just wait until, senior year, and then
Yep.
you decide, okay. Okay, I'll give you this. 11th grade, your junior year, all right? Start looking at school. Start thinking about it, but don't commit to one. Commit
Yeah.
your senior year.
I think it's just and it used to be a lot different back then.
Yeah.
But I think it was just one of those. It was a prestige thing. It's like, oh, he's already committed to something.
Yes,
It's
he did.
like, okay. But you're right. More times than not, things change. I mean, you couldn't do that now. If you committed as a freshman, then money comes after you, and next thing you know, every year you're committing to somewhere different. So it's whoever's going to offer you the most money to who you're going to switch that allegiance to.
So no Greater Spokane League would promise to let him start sophomore year at quarterback. His family moved to Montana. Hot dog.
Wow.
Look at that. You learn something new every day.
Yeah. It's crazy how people will move for school. I mean, it's just like who was the kid that he's done transferred again. It was a big thing this year. I forget what school he's at. Oh, it was the kid from Nebraska,
Mhm.
the quarterback from Nebraska that's transferring again. I mean, he's from California, I think, and I mean his family up and moved to Georgia so he could go to the University of Georgia. He went to high school in Georgia, from California, and he got recruited by Georgia, and he went there. Yeah, Dylan Raiola, and he went there and then transferred out of there, and his family, like, he just kept moving around and moving around. It's like, what the hell, dude? Like, I would not move my life to
No.
another state across country just because my kid wants to go to school somewhere. No, you stay here, you play here, and then you go there to school, to college.
Yeah, I don't know. That's too much.
Yeah,
That's all too much.
a lot too much.
Uh, Again, and just to put a bow on this is we need to the conversation of students and transfer portal and taking all this money. Yes, is out of control. I 100% agree. Yeah, I think you do as well. Should there be some
Yep.
guidelines? Absolutely. But we also need to put some guidelines on coaches, and we need to put some guidelines on the schools themselves, because it's a wild west out here. And then but to blame just the student, I think it's very it's unfair to blame it on just one group.
Yep.
See, I knew he was going to say that.
Anything to circle back to a Cleveland Browns quarterback.
I know. I'm not even gonna acknowledge it. That's what I'm not gonna
We'll
put it
keep
up on the screen because I'm not gonna acknowledge it.
we'll keep moving.
Yeah. Thanks, Patrick. Love you, buddy. All right. So we've got a little bit of a couple of minutes here before the top of the hour. Another thing that I wanted to talk about with you is because I wanted to start highlighting a lot of these minor league teams here in the Carolinas. I picked a team this week.
Okay.
I'll let you pick one next week. Okay.
Okay.
This week I picked the Asheville Tourists.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. So I looked a little bit on them, and I went on their Wikipedia site. Right, they have a
Yep.
Wikipedia site for this one. The ballpark was actually built in 1924. It's going through some renovations at the moment. If you go look at their pictures, it's actually pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I've been following their progress on their social media for sure because
Yeah,
we've been there a couple of times. We went there last year with Eric and Joe on their Palooza, the Prophet Palooza tour.
I'm going to be there in February. I'm talking about February, like it's already February the 2nd already. But I'm gonna be there in a couple of weeks. Obviously, they're not gonna be open, but I'm gonna try to stop by to take a look and go look at their team shop and see what they got. But the cool thing about this one, right? And I'm gonna read here. The ballpark was built in 1924 and was named after Asheville resident Lewis McCormick. Lights were installed for the night game play prior to the 1930 season. Since then, it has been home to various incarnations of the tourists, right? Because they've come and gone.
Yep.
One of my favorite one is the teddy bear,
Oh yeah,
Ted E.
Ted E. Bear.
Yeah, right. I love that logo, right? Like, and it was actually because of if the journalist naming the players tourists because they always come and go. So I think that's where it came from. So for the tourists, also served as home for, check this out, the Asheville Blues of the Negro Southern League during the 40s. And then 56, a quarter mile racetrack was built around it, which held 3 NASCAR races. Did you know that?
I had heard that, and it was I think I had heard that when all the stuff about the renovation came about, and having been there, I cannot imagine a NASCAR race taking place inside that field because it's a confined space. I mean,
It is.
it's blocked by a hillside on 3
Mhm.
sides. It's just I cannot imagine a car race in that small space.
Neither can I.
It barely feels like enough room for a baseball game to start with.
Yeah. So it would this is funny. When it was the construction in 1924, it was for $200,000, which right now would be $3.6 million.
Wow.
So the ballpark served as one of the settings for the 1988 film Bull Durham.
Yep. Yep, because that's where Crash Davis ends up going to from
and
Durham.
get his dinger and then hangs him up.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep.
The venue hosted the 2009 Big South Conference baseball tournament, won by Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool. Farther up the hill behind the left field area is Asheville Memorial Stadium, a football and soccer facility. Its bleacher seating structure is visible from McCormick Field. It was used as Asheville High School football field until the current on-campus field reconstructed in 1980. Well, there it is, man. A little bit of a Asheville tourist. I love their logo. I believe their logo was, I think that was Foose. Ryan Foose.
Maybe I believe so. I believe, yeah. I think
Foose
Ryan
Sports.
did that.
Not Ryan
Yeah.
Foose. Ryan Foose.
Yeah, I think so. I think he did
does.
do that
He
one.
does the Beer City one. He did the design.
Yeah,
the
I knew
Beer
he did
City
that one. Yeah.
Oh my God, such a beautiful one.
Yeah, what's funny is that football field up there, it's been probably 12, 14 years ago. Went to a beer festival that was hosted up there on that field. I think they actually had some of the beer vendors down inside the baseball stadium as well, because I never walked down there, but I think they had some tents set up down there as well. But yeah, I went with Rhonda's cousin's husband, and one of my friends from here went up with me for that. So it was really cool. Craft beer festival they used to have every year. I don't know if they even still do that festival anymore. I think they do, but it's not there. So I think it's in downtown Asheville now. But
one of the iterations of the name is they had the one of the alternate logos, the Asheville Hippies.
Yeah, love that. I love that hippies thing. That's really cool there. So the stadium's going to be beautiful once they get done with the renovation. It's still going to have that nice charm. They just kind of cleaned up the edges a little bit. It's like it's like giving it a nice little fresh haircut.
Well, it's been around since 1924. I think it needs a facelift. I hope they left the light pole that is painted as a baseball bat.
Yeah, I imagine they probably will, because that's out in the fan area. Right there, that one stanchion there, and I imagine maybe they'll put a fresh coat on it or something. But
that's right. It's no Hippies. Look it up. Go on their website. It is the Asheville Hippies. It's one of the alternate identities.
Yeah.
Check this out. Minor league baseball team Asheville Tourists had his logo updated 3 times since 1980. From 1980 to 2004, the bear feature on the Asheville Tourists logo introduced in 1980 was a combination of a baseball player and a tourist. He was holding a baseball bat in one paw and a suitcase in the other. There was also a camera. He had a camera sling over his side. Then they did something that I just don't understand. From 2005 to 2010, the following logo, which was adopted in 2005, focused on a large white A, which was placed in front of a mountain range. I was like, ugh, ugly one. I don't like it. And then finally, from 2011 to today, the logo has been the current one, which is it has a little character with a bat holding the little sachet in the back with a moon, which is one of the cool ones. I miss Bill Wanton as well, man. He was definitely one of them. So there you go. So again, guys, we wanted to highlight a team this week, which is the Asheville Tourist. Brandios did that one. Thank you, Patrick. I thought I was going to be wrong, and I was. So thank you for correcting me on that one. I know Ryan Foose did the Beer City one, so I appreciate you, buddy. But yeah, there it is, guys. And today, again, like I said, we're going to do the Asheville Tourist. To next week, Monday at 6 a.m., we're going to cover a different team. What team that's going to be, I don't know. It is up to the mayor this next week to decide on which team we're going to cover. He might pick a South Carolina team. We don't know. It'll be collegiate football. It'll be affiliated baseball. It could be any minor league in the minor league system team here in the Carolinas for next week. So again, thank you guys for watching. We will be back on Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern time. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you are on the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe. If you're on Facebook, hit subscribe as well. But give us a shout out. And then that way, make sure you also share this with someone else. And then until then, guys, we will see you guys next week at 6 a.m. Take care, guys.
Bye.